On the road to Super Bowl 50. This is the NFL on CBS Week 7. The Jets and the Patriots. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. The kickoff is next. Temperature here in Foxborough, 58 degrees, cloudy skies. It has rained on and off in the morning into the early afternoon. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast crew. Down to the field, Evan Washburn.
And in recent years, this rivalry has provided some great finishes, and often equally as entertaining has been the trash talk leading up to game day, often coming from the Jets and former coach Rex Ryan. Well, under Todd Bowles, a completely different situation. His message to his team this week was ignore the noise. If you think of this game as the biggest game of the year, we are not going to play well. Do not get out of character. Think of this as Game 6, and guys, as we saw and heard last night, it seems like they bought in.
No doubt about it, Evan. Patriots week a little different under Bowles compared to Rex Ryan. New England won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. So Stephen Gostkowski will kick it off. Chris Owusu, who's back from a knee injury, is the return man, the fourth-year wideout from Stanford. Jets have already equaled their win total from last season. They're 4-1. The Patriots trying to remain undefeated. And the kickoff goes through the back of the end zone. The Jets will have it at the 20-yard line to open things up. Ryan Fitzpatrick, last week, 34-20 win over Washington. Fitzpatrick was sharp. 2 touchdowns through the air and 1 on the ground.
He told us last night the Jets are brimming with confidence because running back Chris Ivory and that Jets D are playing lights out today. He knows it's just critical for the Jets to score touchdowns, not have to settle for field goals. He's well aware of the potency of the Patriot offense led by Brady.
Jets are 4-1 for the first time since 2010. That season they started 5-1 and went 11-5 and beat the Patriots in the divisional round of the AFC playoffs. Motion man is Cumberland, first play from scrimmage. Fitzpatrick on a give. Ivory trying to get to the outside, and he is pushed down. Jamie Collins leading the charge for New England. He has been everything for the Pats defensively this season. James Carpenter, part of that offensive line for New York. Todd Bowles called him the most underrated signing that the Jets made during the offseason with a lot of big-name signings. Eric Decker, 5 straight games with a touchdown for Decker, leading this improved Jets offense. Loss of 4 on the play. Owusu is in as a third receiver. Quincy Enunwa suspended 4 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy, a domestic incident for Enunwa, serving his first game. Fitzpatrick loses the football, bounced around, and it's controlled by New England. Dante Hightower on the recovery, and an early cough up for New York.
Yeah, just a horrible start for the Jets offense. They lose 3 yards on first down when Ivory's trapped in the backfield. And now Fitzpatrick trying to find a running lane out of the pocket here is going to get hit by right at the bottom of the screen there. It looked like it was Chandler Jones. Ball bounces forward right into the arms of Hightower. Here's Jones working against Ferguson. And both him and Collins converging on Fitzpatrick. Just a terrible start for the Jets.
This season, the Jets have turned it over 7 times in the first half. That's tied for the most in the NFL with Houston. And New England opens up inside the Jets' 20. James White is out there replacing Dion Lewis. On first down for Brady and the Pats. Working out of the gun. Brady. Protection falling apart, and Brady forced to get rid of it. At the feet of Edelman, pressure coming from Muhammad Wilkerson for the Jets. Tom Brady has set a new club record, his 213th career start. That's the most in franchise history, passing Bruce Armstrong.
And because that offensive line is in constant flux because of the injury, communication's vital for Brady and them. And it's not just him talking to them. He wants to hear them talking too. That way he knows they've got the calls and the adjustments. He may have to take more time at the line of scrimmage than usual.
On a 2nd and 10, shotgun again. Brady lets it fly underneath to Gronkowski. And a modest gain, 5 yards on 2nd down, setting up 3rd down for New England. But with Revis and Davis there defensively.
Yeah, and with the Patriots in the red zone, you're going to see Revis on Gronkowski when Gronkowski splits out wide.
So 3rd and 5 now for New England. Buster Screen is in, the nickel back for New York. They go empty and spread it with 5. On a 3rd and 5, Brady pump. Brady goes down at the 20. It's Muhammad Wilkerson leading this front 7 for New York.
Well, let's check out Ferguson, number 96 right here, working against Cameron Fleming. He's going to get inside and pick up another sack. 5 sacks now on the season for Ferguson. Muhammad Wilkerson, rather, and that's a great defensive stand after the turnover for the Jets defense. But what else do you expect out of this Jet defense?
38-yard attempt for Steven Gostkowski, 21 straight makes. And he knocks it through to put New England in front. The Patriots take advantage of the turnover, and they settle for 3. Danny Amendola, got to be careful patrolling that area. Some words exchanged early. A fumble on the second play from scrimmage for Ryan Fitzpatrick. That opened the door for the New England offense. So the defense gets a win for New England, causing the fumble and the recovery. But then the Jets defense gets a win for stopping New England deep in New York territory.
And Fitzpatrick has only been sacked twice all year, sacked on that play. And that was his second fumble, but just the first one he's lost.
Credit for the sack goes to Chandler Jones on the strip. Kickoff. Owusu takes a knee, and the Jets will have it at the 20-yard line. They trail 3-0 early in this opening quarter. Well, Todd Bowles, he has seen his team come out flat in a number of games. Here's the difference. You can come out flat against Washington a week ago.
Yep.
You come up flat against New England in the first half, and you could find yourself down 20-0 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And this is a game you wouldn't expect the Jets to come out flat offensively, but losing 4 on first down, then the fumble on second down. Terrible start.
Zach Stacy is in the backfield for New York. It's a bootleg. Fitzpatrick, a little flip. They get the tight end involved. Cumberland with the catch, just his 3rd catch of the season. Jeff Cumberland, 16 yards on the catch and run. Defensively for New England, expect to see more Malcolm Brown today. Silver Selinga will be rotated in and out in that alignment. Jonathan Freeney stepping in. Gerard Mayo, less snaps for him. And Malcolm Butler, big challenge today going against big play Brandon Marshall and his 6'4" frame. Give it up to Stacy, and he's wrapped up. No gain on the play. No Bilal Powell today. He's out with an ankle injury. There was some speculation that Stephen Ridley would come off the physically unable to perform list to go against his former team, but the Jets deemed that he was not quite ready, so Ridley not part of the active roster.
Fitzpatrick knows the Jets well. He's played them a number of times when he was with the Buffalo Bills. He says they have a Rolodex of coverages, but he does expect Brandon Marshall to be doubled most of the day.
It's a 2nd and 10 now for the Jets across the 35. Nickel for New England. Justin Coleman in. Fitzpatrick. Rush coming. Ball gets knocked away. He tried to get it over Ninkovich on a loft.
Well, Ninkovich is only 6'2", but Fitzpatrick, he's 6'2" as well, so he's not going to be able to get this ball over the top of number 50 there. As Ninkovich comes off the block of Giacomini, and Fitzpatrick takes a big hit from Alan Branch. That play had something going. Bohannon had blockers out in front. Now it sets up a tough 3rd and long for Fitzpatrick.
Devin Smith, the rookie out of Ohio State, is the 4th receiver for the Jets. Jordan Richards is the 6th defensive back for New England. Play clock is down to 1. They get the playoff. From the gun, Fitzpatrick fires, complete, in stride, he hits Eric Decker. And it's a first down into New England territory, quiets the crowd. He's brought down at the 40. It's a 24-yard hookup.
Well, there's single coverage against Malcolm Butler on the crossing route, and Decker is so good at these type of play right here with a stiff arm right to the face mask of Richards. Big conversion there all the way into Patriot territory at the 40. 24 yards on
Last week, Decker had a fumble. He had 2 drops, but he did have a touchdown. 4 catches, 59 yards against Washington. New set of downs for New York to work with. Here's Fitzpatrick. Sets in, fires, deep ball, a rainbow, incomplete. Decker, the intended receiver, in a matchup against Malcolm Butler.
Now Butler just running stride for stride with Decker. He sees this ball in the air right about now. Watch the lunge by Butler with the right hand, just enough to knock it away from Decker. Tremendous athletic play by Malcolm Butler. See how the ball changes its rotation there. That means he got a couple of fingertips on that one.
And Dan, no Chris Ivory on this possession. We wonder if he took a shot on that first play from scrimmage.
He did not look good on that first play from scrimmage, did he?
2nd and 10, bootleg, Fitzpatrick. Knocked down. Again, it's Ninkovich. All over the field. Alan Brandt's the pressure, and that combination is giving the Jets fits early on.
Well, Ninkovich has 5 career interceptions, number 50 there, as Bohannon lets him go after it's a screen pass, but he got both hands on that pass.
Well, Chris Ivory is jogging in place, but it's been Zach Stacy in the backfield on this possession for New York. 3rd and 10. 4 receiver set. Fitzpatrick steps up. He guns it complete for a first down. Across the 30, feeding the football to Decker. Once again, that one covers 12 yards.
He's 6'3", 215, and with a big body here against Butler, who just 5'11", 190. Watch how he posts him up here. Shields him with his body. Ball right on target, and another first down for the Jets. Good bounce back drive here for Fitzpatrick.
Decker heads to the Jets sideline. Jets on the move as we hit the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. New England leading 3-0. Motion man is Owusu. Give it to Stacy. Zach Stacy carries some defenders with him for a 4-yard pickup. Stacy came over in a deal with St. Louis. Good inside runner. Acquired for a 7th-round draft pick. A solid receiver, but doesn't have the skill set of a Chris Ivory, who's currently leading the NFL in rushing yards per game.
But he's another one of those shorter guys, Ian, that at 5'9", but he packs 224 pounds into that 5'9".
Why did you stare at me when you said shorter guys?
Just trying to relate, pal. No offense.
Trying to make a human connection. Always. 2nd and 7 now. Fitzpatrick, little floater. It's caught by Marshall.
Now these big receivers now are taking control on this drive. That ball thrown right over the top to Marshall. Defended by Logan Ryan. Again, Ryan, 5'11". Marshall, he goes at about 6'4". And when you reach up high like that, watch him keep the ball away from Ryan. Great awareness. Marshall, who has had some fumble troubles this year. 3, one of those a bad lateral.
So Jets, now their 10th play of this drive. Fitzpatrick timing right to the end zone. It's over the head of Decker. Malcolm Butler there, stride for stride with Decker.
It's obvious that Chan Gailey likes his mismatch size-wise on the outside with Decker and Marshall. That ball just thrown away by Fitzpatrick because that time Butler had good inside position on the receiver.
Chan Gailey, first year as the offensive coordinator for the Jets, former head coach with Dallas and Buffalo. And that chemistry goes back to his Bills days with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's a 2nd and 10 for New York. 8:46 to go in the first. Fake the running play. Fitzpatrick, little pump fake looking for an angle, and Fitzpatrick is out of bounds. Jamie Collins veering over to limit Fitzpatrick to a 3-yard gain. Ryan Fitzpatrick had an 18-yard touchdown run last week. That was the longest touchdown run for a Jets quarterback since Richard Todd in 1980.
He's had 20 carries on the year. We had a flag down on the
Illegal
play.
use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense number 22. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Justin
Automatic
Coleman
first down.
with it. Hands to the face. As Fitzpatrick converts for the first down, and then they get extra yardage across the field. That right hand to the face mask of Chris Owusu. Penalty happened 40 or 45 yards away from where Fitzpatrick was running.
Jets are now inside the 5. Jets have been efficient in the red zone. 12th play of the drive. It's a lot easier in the red zone when you're working it inside the 5 as well, and you've got a power runner like Ivory, who has not been in for this possession. It's Stacy. Zach Stacy puts the helmet down and picks up a couple.
And the Patriots, they have to be aware of Fitzpatrick on the bootleg or even on the quarterback draw. Averaging 4.2 yards a carry as a quarterback.
Matt Patricia, 4th year as the defensive coordinator of the Pats, his 12th year with the organization. And he's got the best set of number 2 pencils in the league.
And a fine, fine beard.
That is top-notch.
There you go, looking at me now, huh?
Well, making a connection. 2nd and goal for New York. Fitzpatrick, quick hitter, knocks up in the air, deflected again, and it was there, up for grabs, incomplete. Try to squeeze it into Owusu.
Guess who had the best shot at it? Was Ninkovich on the rebound. Watch the slant route to the right side of the screen, 1 step and fire. And there's Ninkovich with his hands on it again. Good job coverage that time by Justin Coleman.
Was that Russell Wilson throwing it?
I would have given it to Marshawn Lynch. I don't know about you.
Even here.
Yes.
Even if he's not on the team.
Let's put that to bed. That in the emails.
3rd and goal. Jets trying to take the lead. Out of the gun, Fitzpatrick lofts it. Cover in the juggle, and it's incomplete. In a matchup with Patrick Chung. And the Jets unable to cash in on 3rd and goal.
Chung does a great job of, he's not looking for the ball. What he's looking for is he's waiting for Cumberland to reach for the ball. And when Cumberland reaches for the ball, Chung goes right between his hands. Tremendous play by Patrick Chung. Watch him strip that right arm down and knock the ball out.
It is a 20-yard field goal attempt for Nick Folk. Steve Weatherford, who was signed yesterday as the punter. Ryan Quigley, a shin injury, so Weatherford not only punting but holding. The 10-year veteran puts it down, and Folk knocks it through. 15-play drive to tie this game at 3 apiece. This close to a touchdown for the Jets. Chung makes the play on the tight end Cumberland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast. And by Kelley Blue Book. Find out what you should pay for your next new car at KBB.com.
Injury update. Let's go down to the field. Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Chris Ivory, no injury to report. I did not see him with athletic trainers or doctors. Now, he was trying to stay as loose as possible. He's currently on the bike right now, but during that entire possession, he had his helmet on, chin strap buckled. He wanted to go in, it looked like. He was standing there prepared. I'll update you if I hear anything, but nothing official as of yet.
All right, Evan, thanks. It just looked a little awkward as Ivory took the handoff on that first play the Jets called of the day, and he ended up losing 4 yards.
Yeah, normally you see Ivory lower his head and try to drive forward regardless of how many defenders are around him, but he just really kind of collapsed as the tackles were coming.
Folk picks it off. Patrick Chung is the return man. It goes right through his hands. Trying to keep it in the end zone. He has won 58 of his last 62 home games, locked in at Gillette Stadium.
Patrick Chung is going to muff his chance at a return here, and it almost turns into a disaster as the ball will touch the goal line, but the ball has to go entirely across the goal line in order to be marked outside of the end zone. So it's a touchback, but Patrick Chung lucky there that the ball stayed where it did.
He doesn't have a lot of experience as a kick returner. 2014, he averaged 20 yards a return with a long of 30. That's it in his career. No other year was he a featured kick returner. Patriots take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Motion man is Edelman. Tied at 3. Swing pass. James White spin move. And White is hit across the 25. Again, White stepping in for Dion Lewis, out with an ab injury. With NFL Mobile, watch local and primetime NFL games live on your smartphone. Learn more at nfl.com/mobile. 5 receiver set. White sets up as a receiver. 2nd and 3. Brady to Edelman. First down for New England. Just across the 35, brought down by Demario Davis, the leading tackler on the Jets.
And Brady will take this mismatch any day. Edelman on a linebacker, a short crossing route, and you can see Davis in the trail position there. First down, Pats.
2 tight ends in this formation, Gronkowski and Michael Williams, the former Lion. First and 10 at the 36. Brady pats the ball, tosses out to Gronkowski, and he's drilled right away by Gilchrist. Marcus Gilchrist came over as a free agent from San Diego. He's really fit into what Todd Bowles was looking to do with that secondary. It's a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, Gronk only had 3 catches last week. It's his first of the day for half a yard, maybe.
Bowles said he was looking for versatility, and Gilchrist can cover. He's a former cornerback and a nickel. He's tough, smart, and can tackle. Brady incomplete. White the intended target with Calvin Pace there. And it's 3rd and 9 for the Pats.
But again, Brady finding the proper mismatches according to the game plan of Josh McDaniels. Got his running back White on the linebacker, Pace. And there's a drop pass.
His 15th year with the Patriots, former head coach of the Broncos in 09 and 10. Brady underneath. Edelman tries to break a tackle and will come up well short of the first down. David Harris, along with Demario Davis, made sure he didn't get to the marker. It's a 5-yard pickup, and it's 4th down for New England.
And the decision is to go for it on 4th down.
It's 4th and 4.
It's just 1 out of 4 this season converting 4th down opportunities. Now the punt team comes out. But 3rd down, the Patriots are best in the league at converting at 50%. But that's because they usually have a 3rd and 5 or less. That time was 3rd and 9, and they couldn't pick it up.
And the Jets get their return man Curley onto the field. Play clock is down to 2. Ryan Allen to punt it. Some pressure. Curley, fair catch called for, brings it in cleanly, and the Jets will get the football back after the 41-yard punt from Allen. We're tied at 3. First quarter action continues from Foxborough.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Lexus IS200 Turbo and IS300 All-Wheel Drive. And by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Back here at Gillette Stadium, and back on the field is Chris Ivory. Just had the 1 carry on the first play for the Jets. Lost 4 yards. Then we saw Zach Stacy in on the next possession for New York. Ivory gets the call. Ivory stutter steps, thrown backwards by Hightower, making a statement against the tough Ivory. Forward progress will get him 3 yards.
On his first carry, he loses 4 yards. And you can see how he slows down, almost as if he heard the whistle blow or something, and gets dropped for a 4-yard loss. And that time it looked like he had a little bit more going there, but a good tackle and a throwback by Hightower.
Ivory had 146 yards on the ground last week, the first Jets running back since Freeman McNeil to rush for 140-plus yards in back-to-back games. That goes back to 1985. Play action. Fitzpatrick avoids the rush. Zigzags. Fitzpatrick. Terrific job by Fitzpatrick getting out of the pocket, getting to the perimeter for a gain of 11. Dante Hightower put the heat.
Now a gain of 11 that time for Fitzpatrick. Smart runner and faster than you think. Look how he outruns Hightower. Hightower just gives up as he sees the sidelines coming up. And Fitzpatrick converts to another first down for the Jets.
We asked him about going up against Belichick. He said they're constantly mixing it up. They move guys around, interchangeable parts on defense. He said they're not that complicated, but they also don't have a lot of tendencies that you can pick up on tape. Deflected, almost picked off. Decker had a chance at it. Ninkovich again with another tip ball. And that's the 3rd deflection in this first quarter for New England's defense.
And that's really puzzling to Fitzpatrick and frustrating. Watch Ninkovich here as he's going to read the eyes of Fitzpatrick. Gets in the throwing lane. Decker almost can pull it in with one hand. But Fitzpatrick now 0 for his last 4 because of the play of Ninkovich.
It's a 2nd and 10 for New York. 3:46 remaining in the first. Fake it to Ivory. Fitzpatrick avoids it. Fitzpatrick sets it up for Bohannon. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets it done for New York, avoiding the rush of Hicks, looping around and finding the open fullback.
Well, let's check out Hicks. I mean, he comes clear, free on the quarterback here as he beats a double team. Giacomini lets him go. And Ole there, Chandler Jones can't make the catch, and then always looking downfield as Jamie Collins was approaching and finds Bohannon.
First catch of the year for Tommy Bohannon, the third-year fullback from Wake Forest. First down for the Jets. Give it up. Ivory takes the opening, turns it into a 3-yard gain. NFL Today update. JB, Bart Scott in New York.
Interim coach Dan Campbell has the Dolphins flying high.
Oh, yeah, he continues to inspire. Right here, you're going to see Jarvis Landry take the catch, take it all the way across the field. Remember, he is a tremendous punt returner. Ryan Tannehill, 6 of 6 on the day, 127 yards. Miami up, 14-zip.
That in the first quarter. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and Evan Washburn.
The soup is simmering. Dan Campbell on a 2nd and 7. Ivory battles inside and takes it to the 40. That's a 3-yard gain for tough-minded Chris Ivory. Jamie Collins in on the stop. You know, we asked Ivory, what do you like? What do you like to run? He said, I like the inside zone and I like power, and going right, he feels very comfortable with his offensive line.
Well, he's dominant on his right side, so he'll put that one foot in the ground and get upfield. Well, Ivory likes to push off his right leg and use that power.
They bring Zach Stacy in on 3rd down. 4 receivers set, Curley and Owusu. Play clock is down to 2. Shotgun Fitzpatrick. They protect him. Fitzpatrick on time to Decker. First down for New York. 17 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick loads it up to Eric Decker.
Well, Collins is going to come on the blitz, and he's not going to get there. And Decker's just having a whale of a first quarter here. 3 catches now for 52 yards and another first down and another impressive drive for the Jets after that disastrous start in 2 plays that Fitzpatrick fumbled on. But boy, what a comeback he has made.
He has had 6 targets so far. He's now on the sideline. Brandon Marshall operating out of the slot. Ivory is back in there on a 1st and 10 inside the 25. Bootleg, Fitzpatrick sets the feet. Nobody home. He bounced it in the area of Owusu.
He knew that pressure was coming. He felt Dante Hightower coming free, and instead of taking a sack that would take them out of field goal range, decided to throw that one in the dirt in front of Owusu.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, 7 career games against New England prior to this one, going against Bill Belichick. 13 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. His team 1-6 in those games. On a 2nd and 10. Ivory a spin move. Ivory can't break free of Hightower. Dante Hightower returning to the lineup. He missed the Colts game with a rib injury, and he's had an impact in this opening quarter. No gain.
Yeah, Hightower very active here as he again is meeting Ivory and not giving Ivory anything after contact. Tom
Brady has done a lot of warming up on the sideline for New England.
Now, how about the Jets' play selection? 15 passes against 10 runs.
2nd straight double-digit drive for the Jets. This is their 10th play of the possession. On a 3rd and 10. Fitzpatrick underneath. They set a pick for Curley, and Jeremy Curley accelerates. Curley has enough for the first down. Time winding down in this opening quarter. That play covers 12 yards. Curley just his 7th grab of the season.
And how about 4 for 5 converting third downs to keep these long drives alive for New York?
End of the first quarter with the Jets and the Patriots tied at 3. We'll return to Foxborough after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. 2 weeks, 2 top teams. Thursday night, the Dolphins meet Tom Brady and the Patriots on CBS and NFL Network. And in 2 weeks, the Browns meet the unbeaten Bengals only on NFL Network. Start of the second quarter here in Foxborough. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Time of possession just on this drive, 5 minutes and 5 seconds. In the first quarter, New England had the football for 3 minutes and 46 seconds. 141 yards of offense for the Jets, 21 for the Pats. Just 8 plays run for New England.
Yeah, who would have guessed that, huh? Before this game, that the Pats would be sitting on 21 yards. So the defense of the Jets holding serve, but how about the offense of the Jets so far, too?
Number 1 rushing attack in the NFL. Number 8 in total offense. And a 1st and 10 just inside the 12. Ivory picks a spot, drives through it. And we'll gain 2.5 on the play.
Well, on 3rd and 10, you called it. It was definitely a pick play. Watch Decker here. He's going to go out here and search out the defensive back, allowing Curley to get underneath. But if this isn't a pick, I don't know what is. He goes out and just blocks the defender. Curley picks up 12 yards. I mean, Butler had Chung had no chance at taking Curley over the middle.
Spot the football just inside the 10. Ivory sets up as a receiver. Motion man is Curley. On 2nd and 8. Fitzpatrick out of the pocket. Fitzpatrick looking to run. Fitzpatrick lowers the shoulder and takes a shot from McCourty. Devin McCourty with the lick.
Well, Fitzpatrick, most quarterbacks would go out of bounds about here, but he's thinking get in the end zone. Got in the end zone last week. He pulls away from Hightower and then absorbs this big shot right in the back from McCourty.
They caught him on the shoulder as well.
The right shoulder.
Now a 3rd and 1 for the Jets.
They can get a first down with getting a touchdown.
Curley goes in motion. Jets looking for the lead. Inside handoff. Ivory driving. Ivory towards the goal line. And just short, but he does have enough for the first down.
Yeah, tremendous leg drive, and then help from his offensive line. Hightower again is going to meet him at about the 2-yard line, right about there, but watch this surge by the offensive line. Giacomini's always good for an assist there. That's enough to pick up the first down.
Jets bring in a 6th offensive lineman. It's Brent Qualley. 1st and goal for the Jets. Ivory shifts out of the backfield. Fitzpatrick will take a timeout.
Yeah, wisely, because they had 2 men in motion there. Cumberland was not set as Fitzpatrick was about to call for the snap, so he smartly called timeout.
Well, the wait is over. The world premiere of Supergirl is just 1 day away. Be sure to see what everyone will be talking about. Supergirl, it premieres tomorrow after a new Big Bang Theory, only CBS. A flag came down. They might have gotten the penalty before the timeout was taken. I think that's the conversation right now between Bill Vinovich and Todd Bowles.
But what took the officials so long? You were halfway into Supergirl.
New York is
there.
not charged with the timeout due to the penalty. First down.
So it ends up backing the Jets up on the false start just outside the 5. First and goal. Fitzpatrick hooks a pass. He's got Curley for the touchdown. Curley, great positioning. And the Jets take the lead early in the second quarter.
His second touchdown catch of the season. And you wouldn't expect a 5'9" receiver to be the primary down here on the goal line, but he's going to run a quick little slant route against Justin Coleman, the rookie out of Tennessee. How about a 14-play drive, 83 yards, 7.5 minutes, Ian, and they overcome the penalty from the goal line back to the 5, and Curley gets in.
Nick Folk is on for the extra point. Tanner Purdom will snap it. Weatherford is the holder. And straight through for Folk. 10-3 advantage for the Jets. Another long drive. This one culminates in a Jeremy Curley touchdown grab. Jeremy Curley has been a bit of a forgotten man in this Jets offense. But Curley a factor in this first half. 14 plays on that drive for the Jets. They had 15 plays on the previous drive, so 29 plays last two drives for New York, and a 10-3 lead at the 12:30 mark, second quarter.
And Fitzpatrick has thrown 16 passes already.
Folk kicks it off, and Amendola, the return man. New England looking for a spark here. Amendola with a flag down. He was spun down just shy of the 25. No Chung on that return. Remember, Chung let the ball go right off his hands on the first try of the day. Tom Brady is getting
Personal
restless.
foul, low block. Kicking team number 26. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Union keeps the ball. First down. Timeout.
If there has been one issue for the Jets early this season, it has been special teams. It's been spotty at times. Brady just chomping at the bit to get out there. New England's dominance here at one Patriot Place. Last 50 home games, 46-4. Best winning percentage over a 50-game span at home in the Super Bowl era. Well, they haven't run enough plays to establish a rhythm yet on offense. Just 8 plays so far in this first half. This is the 9th. Brady, play fake. Brady knocked away, trying to get it to Gronkowski. Calvin Pryor, the 3rd there for the slap down.
Let's go back to the touchdown. This alignment here by Coleman is designed to take away the inside slant route, but the quickness of Curley, one small step to the outside and then speed and quickness to the inside gets him a touchdown.
New England came in having scored on 56 of its offensive possessions, and they cannot get it going. Brandon LaFell, who's back on the team after being activated off the physically unable to perform list with a foot injury. That's a drop, and it's 3rd and 10 for New England.
It was a drop, but it was a poor throw by Brady, too. When Brady misses often, it is low, and right now he is not in a rhythm. Not able to hit Gronkowski on first down or LaFell on second down.
I mentioned the percentage of offensive possessions they've scored. That leads the NFL in scoring efficiency, and a big drop-off to number 2. Cincinnati, 43%. 13 percentage points below New England. 3rd and 10. Brady over the middle. Amendola open, but short of a first down as he crossed the 45. That one covers 7 yards. And the punting unit will come on for Bill Belichick's squad as we hit 12 minutes to play, second quarter.
And defensive coordinator Casey Rogers dialing up the safety blitz that time. Calvin Pryor coming late in the face of Brady and forcing the hot throw. It wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Jeremy Curley waiting for this punt at his own 10-yard line. Ryan Allen will boot it. Not much pressure. High punt from Allen. Curley ranging over, and he brings it in at the 7. 47-yard punt from Allen. It's been a perplexing first half and a frustrating one for Tom Brady and the New England offense.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. And by Acura. the leading automotive brand in safety performance.
The Patriots Hall of Fame. Wait, who's here?
Are you kidding me?
But do they go everywhere? These two guys has traveled from Cleveland to Foxborough.
I hope they wash those jerseys once in a while.
Oh, those are the same jerseys, I guess.
Afraid so.
Jets take over after the punt from Allen. They lead it 10-3. Zach Stacy gets the call. Runs into Allen Branch and picks up 2.5 yards on forward progress.
Well, the day didn't start out too good for Fitzpatrick on second play of the game. He's stripped of the ball by Chandler Jones, but he's bounced back, converting 5 of 6 third downs, and then also using his legs to keep the Patriots off balance. And again, the slant route to Curley on a play by the rookie Justin Coleman, you just can't have, trying to take away inside position with your alignment and then still letting the receiver inside.
Rashawn Melvin is now in there in the secondary for New England. Stacy. He's got that running lane. He's brought down by Chung. Good block by Ferguson to spring him loose for 7. NFL Today update. JB and Bart Scott.
Shades of Dan Fouts.
Yeah, man. Ryan Tannehill is on fire. 9 for 9 for 201. He's going to find Lamar Miller, who does the rest. Ryan Tannehill on the day, 3 touchdowns for over 50 yards. Miami is woken up 28-0 against Houston.
White at the start of the second quarter. Ian and Dan.
Is that the same team we saw in London a few weeks ago?
No, I think the chowder is working in Miami.
Trying to make things interesting in the AFC East. This is a 3rd and 2. Fitzpatrick too high. It was over the head of Marshall. He was dealing with some pressure in the pocket.
Good defensive stand for the Patriots here. Jamie Collins, the most athletic defender that Matt Patricia has ever been able to coach. Good pressure there by Chandler Jones as he takes Rickashaw Ferguson back to the quarterback. That's a deadly combo there, Collins and Jones.
Steve Weatherford was hosting a radio show yesterday, and now he is punting for the New York Jets. And it takes a New England bounce. Ryan Quigley is out with a shin injury. Weatherford most recently with the New York Giants. His second stint with the Jets, that was just 31 yards for the 10-year veteran. On October 13th, Patriot players made a special visit to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. The players visited cancer patients and survivors, surprising them with Patriots gifts, and they invited 10 survivors to a special day of pampering at Gillette Stadium. Join in the fight against breast cancer and find out how you can help make a crucial catch. Share this message with friends and loved ones at NFL.com/pink. Well, we've got 9:50 to play in this first half, Dan. New England does not have a running play yet. First 3 possessions, they took over at the Jets 19 after the Fitzpatrick fumble, settled for the field goal. Then 5 plays, 3 plays. They open up this possession in New York territory with a double tight end set. Brady, plenty of time. Brady, incomplete. LaFell, LaRust.
And he's going to beat Darrelle Revis, too, on this crossing route. It's a good pass protection for Brady because this takes a while to get off. But there's a sharp cut to the inside, ball slightly thrown behind him, but that's 2 drops now for LaFell.
Off-season foot surgery for LaFell. Revis there defensively, former teammates. Revis won a Super Bowl with the Patriots last season. Running play, first one, Blunt. Not much there. Just across the 45, Sheldon Richardson in on the stop, a 3-yard pickup. JB and Bart, NFL Today update.
Everything going Miami way.
JB, when it rains, it pours. Rashad Jones is going to get the deflected catch. Interception, take it in for the score. Miami is all over Houston, 35-0.
Back to Ian Eagle.
Wow.
Wow is right. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year.
You have a vote?
I wish I did. He'd get it.
3rd and 7, motion man Edelman. Brady gets rid of it. It's underneath, breaking a tackle. Amendola, good cut by Amendola to give New England the first down.
Well, they had been 0 for 3 on third downs, but if he doesn't make this great move as the crowd goes crazy for the first down. Tremendous move by Amendola.
Patriots moving quickly here. We're down to 8:45 to play in the first half. Jets lead at 10-3. Brady looked behind him. There was nobody there. Brady throws. It's complete to Amendola.
Yeah, it was play action pass with nobody to play action with. Brady with a 360 here, but he knows where to go with the ball. Slides to the left and finds Amendola in the seam.
Tom Brady has gone over 55,000 yards in his NFL career. Gronkowski sets up as a receiver. Almost intercepted by Wilkerson. Brady was locked in on Gronk.
Well, and he had Gronk too. Wilkerson telling Brady he got away with one there. Watch the reaction here by number 96 as he doesn't even rush the passer. Wilkerson getting in the passing lane, and that's what Todd Bowles talked about. Not so much getting sacks. The Jets only have 8 on the year, but they're very good at getting in the passing lane and getting some tip passes that lead to interceptions.
On second down, Patriots going empty again. Shotgun for Brady. They trail by a touchdown. Pump. Brady. End zone. Too high. James White, who's only 5'10", in a matchup with a linebacker, Demario Davis.
But again, we're seeing Brady finding the mismatches that he favors here. But that time, the coverage by Davis was really pretty good because he took away the inside and forced the throw high and wide to the 5'10" James White.
No Dion Lewis today, out with an abdomen injury. So James White stepping in for Lewis. White remains out there on a 3rd and 10 now for the Patriots. Edelman in motion. Brady out of trouble. Brady hit inside the 5. He's like a cheetah.
I think he surprised himself here a little bit. Now he's going to get to the line of scrimmage, which is wise, so the Jets can't substitute here. But he's looking for the end zone here. He's not looking to slide.
And a give to White to the outside. Cut down. Calvin Pryor just saved a touchdown.
That's a fantastic play by Pryor. Looked like White had the corner to get to the pylon, at least to dive for it. But the tackle by Pryor, number 25, skating along the defensive line there. White can't get the stiff arm on him, and he can't extend across the line.
2nd and goal for the Patriots. We approach 7 minutes to go, first half. New England looking for the equalizer. Fade route. Too high. Gronkowski with Pryor there defensively. And it's 3rd and goal now for New England.
Pryor's a good matchup for Gronkowski because he's physical and he's got size, at least in his weight, about 210 pounds. So he's not overpowered there by Gronkowski coming off the line of scrimmage. And Brady really never gave Gronkowski a chance to make a leaping catch of that ball in the back of the end zone.
3rd and goal. Brady fires it. Gronkowski. Did he break the plane?
Well, I thought he did at first look.
Jets are claiming they stopped him before he got across the goal line.
Running inside here, it's one of those fake pick plays.
62.
Apparently the ball never broke the plane. This is where you got to watch out for Brady and the quarterback sneak here.
And Belichick is going for it, of course, on 4th down. Tight formation. Brady over the top. He's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Tom Brady takes care of it himself.
Yeah, he's so good at either going really low or using his 6'4" body to stretch across there. Reaches across, breaks the plane 16 times now. Brady has rushed for a touchdown in his 16-year career.
He is one of the best ever to do that as a sneak runner.
And behind a rookie center in David Andrews.
Extra point, Gostkowski. It banged through off the upright, and we are tied at 10. Tom Brady had an 11-yard scramble to keep the drive going, and the 1-yard touchdown plunge. That's the equalizer in the second quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV.
"11 plays, 47 yards for the Patriots. Brady, the 1-yard touchdown run. And this game is tied at 10 with 6:24 to play. First half in Foxborough. Kickoff from Gostkowski. Owusu is deep. And this will not be returned. Jets will have it at the 20-yard line. Right now, Tom Brady is leading the Patriots in rushing, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is leading the Jets in rushing.
You got a problem with that?
I got no problem with
Okay, well, mobile quarterbacks.
it. Did you ever lead the Chargers in rushing, Dan?
Excuse me. Hang on, I'm buffering.
Are you buffering?
I'm going to buffer on this one.
Check the record books.
No, don't worry about it.
Chris Ivory has been limited. 7 carries, 8 yards for Ivory. Number 4 in the NFL in rushing overall behind Forte, Freeman, and Hyde entering action today. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Incomplete. Off to the side of Jeremy Curley.
You know, you go back to that last possession for the Jets, the fine punt for the Patriots by Allen, pinned them deep in their own end, and then Weatherford comes out with a 31-yarder, giving the Patriots possession at the 47-yard line of New York. So it was a short drive, well executed by Brady and company, but yet special teams hurting the Jets.
Last week, Jets racked up a season-high 474 yards against the Redskins. They have 164 yards in the first half today against New England. Ivory, up the middle. Hakeem Hicks in on that stoppage. A 2-yard gain for Chris Ivory. Ninkovich also part of that play defensively for the Pats. They'll make personnel changes. Devin Smith comes in. Zach Stacy returns for New York.
Part of Chan Gailey's history is obviously is spreading things out. So he decides to go with 4 wide receivers and Zach Stacy on this third down.
Nickel package here for New England. Deron Harmon checks in his third year out of Rutgers. 3rd and 8. Fitzpatrick gets it to Decker. Decker makes a man miss. And Decker right at the line to gain. Malcolm Butler got spun around.
This may be good enough for the Jets after this great effort by Decker. He's way short of the first down with a catch. Spins away right there from Butler, and they're going to give him a very favorable mark.
Boy, they put the football at the 30.
Yeah, he was short. This might be worth a challenge. And there's a challenge flag by Bill Belichick.
On the live look, it felt very close, but then when they placed the football down, it looked like he easily got half a yard extra on the spot.
New England is challenging the ruling on the field with regard to a spot with a first down. Timeout.
Really smart challenge here. Coach is upstairs seeing the replay, knowing that Decker is coming up short of the first down.
Vinovich will take a look at this.
Let's check out the right elbow of Eric Decker, and you're going to see just how short he is of the 30-yard line. Nowhere near the yard to gain.
Bill Vinovich.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field has changed. The runner was down short of the 30-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1/2 on the right hash. New England is not charged a timeout, and they win their first challenge.
So it's 4th down here, and Steve Weatherford is coming onto the field. They got to move the football, though.
Yeah, move it back a half yard. There they go. You see how Weatherford does this time. 31 yards. Gave the Patriots great field position last time he punted.
Julian Edelman, the return man, standing at his own 20-yard line. Weatherford. Not much of a rush. From the 24, returnable for Edelman. Edelman avoids the tackle and brings it across the 40-yard line. A 47-yard punt, 17-yard return for Edelman. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. It's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. They are deep in conversation, getting ready.
Deep.
That was deep.
There's some deep guys there. You know, that 47-yard punt was low, and so the 17-yard return nets out 30. So 31 and 30 yards for the last 2 punts for the Jets.
And again, excellent field position now for the Pats. 4:49 remaining in this first half. Take the running play. Brady. It bounces off of LaFell. Coverage from Cromartie.
The rest is very apparent on Brandon LaFell. This is his first action of the year after dealing with a foot injury. Good job by Cromartie with the left hand, sneaking between the 2 hands of LaFell.
He had 74 catches last season, 953 yards and 7 touchdowns in his first year with the Patriots. That's his 3rd drop of the first half. Brady over the middle. He connects. Michael Williams stays upright.
They're going to say he's down, but I'm not sure he ever hit the ground. But I know one guy's not getting off the ground. That's Calvin Pryor. This is a 304-pound tight end landing right on top of you. His right elbow is down.
Yeah.
So this is a proper call by the officials, but don't tell Michael Williams that. This could be a huge injury for the Jets. Calvin Pryor, their outstanding strong safety.
Pryor on his feet.
The wind knocked out of him, he's indicating.
Chris Ivory, they're working on that left leg of Ivory. He just didn't look right early in this game as we check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just a quick update on Ivory Iron. You just mentioned a deep massage on that left hamstring, and I've kept a close eye on him. He has not looked comfortable his entire time on the sideline. We've seen him play, not really effective, but he's constantly working now on that left leg, and the athletic trainers are chipping in. As soon as I hear anything official about his status, I'll let you know.
All right, thanks, Evan. Keep in mind also, Jets are very thin at safety. Deion Bailey steps in formerly with Seattle. He was waived by the Seahawks. Jaquan Jarrett was waived by the Jets yesterday to make room for Weatherford. He was dealing with an injury, a knee injury. So Bailey is in. This is a 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard pickup by Michael Williams. Patriots trying to convert. Brady connects with Gronkowski. He's not going down. Dragging Gilchrist with him. He got a hold of the Gronk jersey, but that's not enough to bring down 6'6", 265-pound Gronkowski.
And he averages 18.5 yards per catch. That time he goes for 26. He's just the most dominant tight end in the NFL.
They are inside the Jets 30. Brady under pressure, sidesteps it. Brady gets rid of it. Oh, Edelman gets stamped. Penalty marker down at the 34.
That's Buster Screen coming in here with a big hit. Watch number 41 here, comes off his man and finds Edelman and delivers that legal shot with a shoulder to the chest of Edelman.
Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And a holding call against New England. Cameron Fleming forced into a starting role, and they've had to mix and match on that offensive line Marcus Cannon not available because of a toe injury. They move Sebastian Vollmer over to the left side. Fleming starting on the right side. Klein shifts to left guard for the injured Shaq Mason.
Slow down. You're going too fast
I'm
for
sorry.
me, pal.
Are you writing these down, Dan?
Well, all I know is they only have 6 offensive linemen dressed for this game.
Calvin Pryor is back in there for the Jets. This is a 1st and 20 now for New England. Brady pump and throw over the head of Edelman. 2nd and 20 now for the Patriots, 3:27 mark of the second quarter.
Edelman, who had a finger problem last week, had a couple of drops, and in fact he cost Brady his only interception of the year on a bobble that was picked off, but that goes right through his hands.
Patriots will throw it for the 23rd time. Brady, he drops it in the bucket to LaFell, threading the needle. Perfectly thrown ball by Brady.
Yeah, got it over the outstretched hand of David Harris, the linebacker, number 52 here. I mean, that's touch. That's just beautiful. That's playing in the league. Good news for the Jets. Pryor back in the game, but late coming over.
The officials are huddling up along the sideline. Tom Brady wanted to get this thing going. That's part of the Patriots offense, is moving quickly. And the question is the spot. It's a first down.
Look at Revis. Got his fingertip on that ball. And still it had enough to get to LaFell before Pryor could make the hit.
So a new set of downs for the Patriots at the 19 of New York. We're tied at 10, 3:04 to play, first half.
Brady showing great touch on that ball, getting it just over the fingers of Revis.
And the challenge flag is out. Todd Bowles could be questioning the spot of that LaFell
New York
grab.
is challenging the ruling on the field with the spot with regard to a first down.
He took the shot from Pryor, and the elbow is down there. He's got a good point. The slide got him the first down.
Yeah, but once that elbow goes down, that's it. So this is overturned to be 3rd and 1.
They placed the football at the 19-yard line, and a look at that replay, he was short.
Yep.
So Bowles and his coaching staff heads up.
Yeah, and your eagle eye.
We had Belichick question a spot earlier. He was correct. Bowles doing the same now after the LaFell reception.
Well, there's the hit by Pryor. Look, you can see had to get about the 19-yard line, and he's right on the 20-yard line when that elbow hits. This will be a full yard short of the first down.
Call on the field was a first down. Mike Carey, our NFL rules expert. What'd you see on that play, Mike?
Yeah, and just about the same thing you guys did. When the receiver's right elbow hits, the ball's in his left hand, and it looks like the tail end of the ball is right in the middle of the 20-yard stripe. They'll put it there and see if it's short, which it looks like it is.
And Mike, it happened right along the Jets sideline, so they had a pretty good view of it as well.
And if they have to measure it, they've already moved the chains.
That's true.
Yes, but here's what they have. They have the exact spot marked on
After
the chain
reviewing the
so
play,
they can go back
the
and
ruling
put
on
the
the
right
field has
spot.
changed. The runner is short of the line of the game. It'll be 3rd down and a half-yard line at the 19-yard line.
All right, good stuff, Mike.
They're not even going to have to bother to bring out the chains. Half a yard short. But they have to move the ball back. It's still resting on the 19-yard line.
Now the Jets are waiting for the officials to move it. This happened earlier as well. And now the spot is going to be just inside the 20.
And again, the Jets have got to be alert for the quarterback sneak by Brady. He's already scored a touchdown last time the Patriots had the ball on a sneak.
They need less than a yard to keep this drive alive. Brady so far 12 of 22, 114 yards. He has a rushing touchdown for New England. White in the backfield.
Hey, choose the mic. Hey, skip 52. 56
Michael Williams lines up as a receiver.
319.
Brady from the gun. Pressure. Brady is dropped by Pace.
Pace comes on the blitz from the outside, and there's nobody to pick him up because James White goes in motion. Number 97 coming free here, and what a huge play. Smart challenge, and then a really creative blitz that time for the Jets by Calvin Pace.
And it turns into a 46-yard attempt for Gostkowski. He's got it. New England takes the lead as we hit 2 minutes to play in the first half. Patriots 13, the Jets 10. Back with more from Foxborough. 7 plays, 31 yards, the 46-yard field goal for New England. Now the Patriots in front 13-10 with 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Gostkowski will kick it off to Owusu. Just the difference in starting field position. New England's starting field position average, their own 46-yard line. For the Jets, their own 17. Owusu takes it out. Owusu just short of the 20. And that's where the Jets will open up on this drive with just under 2 minutes to go. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Tom Brady, Josh McDaniels working through some things along that sideline, and Brady is still the leading rusher for the Patriots with 12 yards. Fitzpatrick, the leading rusher for the Jets with 21 yards. Dan Fouts led the Chargers in rushing once in his career, December of 1979, with 46 yards. Chris Ivory thrown down at the 21. That was a Charger loss to Atlanta, 28-26.
Well, I had an excuse. My daughter Suzanne was born the day before. Okay?
Oh, you had some other things going on in your life.
I thought I should run more that day for some reason.
Trying to run to the hospital, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, for Ivory, he just hasn't looked like himself. And that was from the opening play of the game. 9 carries, 12 yards for Ivory.
Definitely something wrong with his legs.
This is a guy that runs with so much fury. 2nd and 8, bootleg. Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick veering inside across the 25. Did a lot of work for the 5-yard pickup. Entering this week, averaging 115 yards per game. That's best in the NFL. Missed the one game, and that was the Jets' only loss. It came against Philadelphia.
But still, even on that play, the bootleg, the fake to Ivory was effective because of Fitzpatrick's guts in running that ball to the inside.
Dan, Patriots not using timeouts here. And the Jets facing a 3rd and 3 with 30 seconds left. Fitzpatrick gets out of trouble. And in bigger trouble, Collins buries him. Hightower, first man there. And that forced Fitzpatrick to twirl around. It's a loss of 12 on the play.
Well, here's Collins. This is going to be 4.5 sacks now for him. But check him out. He's basically on a green dog. That means if Stacy blocks, he's going to come, and then he's got the athletic ability to chase down Fitzpatrick as Fitzpatrick tries to escape the pocket, but you're not going to run past this guy or outrun him. Jamie Collins, one of the best.
New England just used its first timeout. Fitzpatrick sacked 2 times in the first 5 games, and now twice today in the first half. 24 seconds remaining on the clock.
And Bird, you talked about the great field position that the Patriots have had in this first half. They're going to get great field position again as Weatherford backs up into his own end zone to kick this one away to Edelman. He's up already to the 41-yard line.
Keep in mind, New England gets the football as well to start the second half. Buster Screen has gone to the locker room with a shoulder injury for New York. Weatherford in the air for Edelman. Settles under it from the 37. Edelman brought down across the 45. 50-yard punt. Trevor Riley makes the play on special teams, a 10-yard return for Edelman. Only 12 seconds left on the clock.
And that was a great punt by Weatherford because it was high. It allows his men to get downfield on Edelman, but it also ate up a lot of seconds off the clock because it was kicked so high. So even though Brady has 2 timeouts, he only has 12 seconds. Try to get Gostkowski into range.
Just 2 catches for Edelman today. 2 catches, 14 yards. Amendola has 3 catches for 38 yards. Gronkowski 4 catches for 32 yards. They need about 15 yards. Brady, they'll get it. With Rob Gronkowski, at least some of it brought down by Davis. Looked like he was going to get more. It turns into 8 yards with 7 seconds left on the clock.
That's at least a 3-point tackle there for Davis. As you talked about, it looked like Gronkowski had running room, but check out this dive at the ankles and the toes of Gronkowski.
It leaves 7 seconds on the clock. Gostkowski is getting ready.
Yeah, his longest this year, 57. That came against Dallas on the road.
Also his career long.
With Brady so quick getting the ball off, they may be able to afford to try a 1 pass play and then immediately call timeout.
They need 7 yards to get into the range. 7 seconds left. Amendola, the motion man. Brady, 4 seconds, working the sideline. LaFell, incomplete, couldn't hold on to the football. 3 seconds remain on the clock.
Well, LaFell has had his struggles today. There's no question. This ball should have been caught. It's thrown low again, but he's got both hands on it. He just can't haul it in. That's 4 times now for Brandon LaFell on his first action of the season.
And think about the 1 catch he did have where he took that shot.
Yeah, on a deflected ball.
On 3rd down, time expires. Brady steps up. Brady is dumped at midfield. Jets will get credit for a sack. It is Sheldon Richardson getting to Tom Brady, and that will be the end of the first half. The New England Patriots 13, the New York Jets 10. Divisional showdown today in Foxborough. We'll come back, Verizon Halftime Report, after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Patrick hooks a pass. Got Curley for the touchdown. And the Jets take the lead early. Brady over the top. He's in. Touchdown, Patriots. NFL on CBS getting ready for second half action. The Patriots in front of the Jets 13-10. And now, Who Are You Lovin'? Presented by McDonald's. David Andrews, the center, creating some space. Brady didn't really need it because he went airborne. Brady, the touchdown, rushing on the sneak, and a tight one here in Foxborough. Hi, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. Jets were dominating the clock throughout most of that first half. Brady finally able to get into a rhythm with this New England offense, but not a lot of balance on either side. The running game has not been a factor for either team.
Yeah, and for the Jets, they come in as the best rushing team in the NFL at 146 yards per game. But when your quarterback's your leading rusher, your backup running back is ahead of your number 1 guy in Chris Ivory, these stats will not hold up against this New England defense. And you go back to the very first running play and the very first play of the game for the Jets, something happened to the left leg of Chris Ivory as he is going to give himself up on this play, lose 4 yards, and then go to the sidelines, try to warm up, and get work from the trainers on the back of that left leg. But He's a tough guy. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the second half.
New England will get the football to start this second half. And they lead it 13-10 over the Jets. Patriots trying to remain undefeated. One of 5 undefeated teams left in the league. Cincinnati, Denver, Green Bay, and Carolina. The others. New England 76 straight home wins when leading at halftime. Have to go back to 2000, December against Miami, the last loss. Nick Folk will kick it off. Second half is underway from Gillette Stadium. Amendola return now from the 1. Amendola hurdles across the 25. The Jets ended up with a football on that play.
They're marking him down, though. The official coming in, pointing at the ground.
So New England will open up just shy of the 30-yard line.
Well, here's the dive by Amendola. He's down before the ball comes out. Good job by the officials.
Malden ended up with the ball after this play was whistled dead, and Amendola was clearly down. So a first down from the 29. James White in the backfield, Brady to throw it on first down. Downfield, Gronkowski trying to stretch out, but he didn't lay out, and it's incomplete.
Well, it's a touch pass by Brady. It's maybe 3 inches too far as Gronkowski gets behind Lattimore. And he might have gone the distance here because he had very few Jets in his way.
Clear separation for Gronkowski, unable to haul it in. Swing pass for White. White bouncing off the tackle. And takes it across the 35. Davis whiffed initially. Revis there to help out as we send it down to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Chris Ivory was the last Jets player out of the locker room out onto the field. I spoke with Todd Bowles, and he admitted he is sore, but he also said that they need to open up some holes with them. So they're going to keep going with them here in the second half. We'll just have to keep a close eye on them. And as for Bill Belichick, he said it all came down to third downs.
Well, this is a 3rd and 2 now.
There's some confusion here. Brady telling Danny to get off the ball so that Gronkowski can go in motion.
Play clock down to 4. Brady floats it upstairs. Jump ball. It's caught. Setting it up for Scott Chandler, a big target at 6'7", 260 pounds in a matchup with Pryor, who came away limping.
Yeah, they're back to getting the ball to Chandler a little bit. Couple of power forwards here. Big adjustment by Chandler.
Patriots moving quickly. Amendola, the curl after the catch, but the play was whistled down.
Jets called timeout.
Calvin Pryor is hurt.
Yeah, he's down on the ground, could not get up. Didn't get off the field either.
Training staff comes over to check on Pryor.
Officials timeout due to the injury at number 25.
The Jets do not call a timeout. It's an injury timeout.
So that play never happened for New England.
Well, here's Pryor right here. Number 25 begging the officials to call timeout.
I can't put any weight on that left leg. 6 tackles today. Left the game briefly in the first half.
Hey, you talked about the lack of depth at the safety position, Ian.
It's Dion Bailey, and that's it.
Well, he's up against Scott Chandler on this jump ball. And watch as they come down. Chandler goes about 260. He's going to come down and watch that left knee.
Well, not sure if he just landed awkwardly or if Chandler leaned in on him. But Pryor has limped off the field. Dion Bailey, in his second year from USC, former member of the Seattle practice squad and active roster, an undrafted free agent, is in. 1st and 10 inside the Jets 40. LeGarrette Blount slides through for a gain of 1.5 yards. Marcus Gilchrist in on that stop along with Sheldon Richardson for New York.
Now this run defense of the Jets, which came into the game as the second best in the NFL, doing a good job on Blunt so far. Just 2 carries for 4 yards. But I would expect to see him a lot more active in here in the second half.
And now it's James White in there behind Brady on a 2nd and 9. Fake it. Brady. The toss to Dobson. Aaron Dobson, his 10th catch of the season. 2nd round pick out of Marshall a couple of years ago. That's a 12-yard hookup and a new set of downs for the Pats.
Well, Leonard Williams a little late now getting to Brady. As Brady gets that ball out quickly, he has now hit 8 different receivers as he's spreading it around, as the future Hall of Famer seems to always do.
From the gun, Brady gets rid of it. It's Chandler again. Marcus Gilchrist holding on for dear life. The Jets have not given up a point in the 3rd quarter this season. They've outscored their opponents 34-0 in the 3rd, 68-21 in the second half of games. Patriots are threatening inside the Jets' 20. They've got a 13-10 lead against New York.
56, I'm in the gun. Watch him!
White flanks Brady on a 2nd and 2. Brady, nobody there. Edelman, the closest receiver in the general vicinity.
Now the Jets put good pressure on Brady on this one, and he was not comfortable, knowing he didn't want to force that one against Darrelle Revis to Edelman. You can see how quickly he gets rid of this ball and just throws it away. Revis with good coverage on Edelman.
It's been a quiet day so far for Darrelle Revis. 3 interceptions this season, 3 fumble recoveries. This is a 3rd and 2 now for the Patriots. First drive of the second half. Out of the gun, Brady perfectly placed to White for the first down. It's just pitch and catch for Tom Brady. Calvin Pace over there trying to deal with White.
Yeah, it's just a wheel route that time, and you can see how Calvin Pace gets caught up inside. Cromartie a little bit late recognizing. Brady recognized it. Got the matchup he wanted.
1st and goal now for New England. Patriots trying to add to their lead. Brady over the head of Gronkowski, incomplete in a matchup with Gilchrist. What have the Jets been doing with Gronkowski? Different looks?
Well, this is the first time that I've seen Gilchrist on Gronkowski, and he's got perfect coverage that time. And Brady again airmails his big tight ends a couple of times now on the fade route that he hasn't quite given him a chance to go over the shorter defensive backs of the Jets.
A touchdown and a field goal today for New England in the red zone. 2nd and goal for the Pats. Edelman in motion. Brady in the pocket, settles in, back of the end zone. It's over the head of Dobson. 3rd and goal now for New England.
Antonio Cromartie does a great job in coverage on this play against Dobson. Follows him to the post and then back to the corner. And Brady, feeling the pressure from Calvin Pace, got rid of it out of the back of the end zone.
40 plays on offense, 35 passes for the Patriots. 3rd and goal for New England. Brady looking, fires! Ball popped free from Edelman.
This is just another drop pass. Tom Brady's been victimized by his receivers today. This is a touchdown pass to Edelman. Right through his arms. He got inside of Revis.
Normally automatic.
9 drops by Patriot receivers today. Wow.
And another field goal attempt for Gostkowski. It's 23 in a row made for the 10-year veteran. And splits the uprights. Patriots go in front 16-10 with 11:10 to play, 3rd quarter. New England 16, the Jets 10. 11 plays, 65 yards to open up this second half for the New England offense. Owusu waiting the kick. The last 3 drives for the Jets have all been 3 and outs. New England has made some defensive adjustments, and the Jets have not had answers. They're going to open up from the 20-yard line. Field position hasn't helped them either. Back to Foxborough with more of Jets and Patriots right after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Toyota. Let's go places. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Dan, this is a band that is moving up the charts. Fade to Black, a special performance in Providence last night. That's our crew. The musical stylings.
I thought the lead guitarist was Eric Clapton. It's not?
It was Clapton-esque. It's a first and 10 for the Jets.
Fade to Black's a good idea.
Cumberland and Davis, 2 tight ends. Ivory trying to get to the outside, the stiff arm. He's not the same guy right now.
No, he has no speed, no explosion. Remember, it's his left leg, so he couldn't really plant and cut powerfully up the field. He's got the edge right here, but pulls away from Collins, but just not the same Ivory.
Now brought down by Malcolm Butler on the play. It's a 3-yard pickup. Ivory's been limited to 15 yards on the ground. Brandon Marshall, by the way, just 1 catch covering 13 yards. 2nd and 7, Fitzpatrick. Knocked down again. Rob Ninkovich.
4 times today, 3 in the first half, and he starts the second half out snuffing this one with his right hand. Talk about an athletic move. We've seen this all day from Ninkovich, frustrating Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, you're there, you're in the pocket, you got time to throw, you got your receivers open, you let it go, and it comes right back to you. Not fun.
That's Robert Parrish-like. 4 blocks for Ninkovich.
Mutombo.
Or that. 3rd and 7. Play clock down to 1. Fitzpatrick makes the connection, and it is enough for a first down. Hooks up with Devin Smith, the rookie out of Ohio State, to move the chains for New York.
Yeah, big play on both ends of this. Watch Fitzpatrick hang in the pocket here as he's going to get hit by 3 Patriots. But he is eyeballing Smith over the middle. Smith makes the catch, leans forward to pick up the first down.
First down in the Jets' last 4 drives. Zach Stacy gets the call. Gain of 4. Chandler Jones getting Stacy down low. First half possessions for the Jets. The fumble on the opening drive. They answered with a field goal. Then the long touchdown drive. Punt, punt, punt to end the first half.
Yeah, they had 2 long drives after the initial fumble by Fitzpatrick, but then the Patriot defense putting pressure on Fitzpatrick and no running attack for the Jets.
Ivory's on the sideline. Now it's Zach Stacy getting his opportunity. Ivory less than 100%. 2nd and 6. 9:20 to go in the 3rd. Stacy takes a hit. Forward progress will get him out near the 35. Alan Branch, that's a big man. 6'6", 350 for New England.
That's more than a branch. That's an entire tree.
That's a forest.
You one-upping me there, huh, bud?
Sorry.
I couldn't see the forest, though, because branch was in the way.
Low-hanging fruit on that tree. 3rd and 5 for New York. Dime package here for New England. Brandon Marshall shifts out of the backfield. Can they get Marshall involved here? Fitzpatrick looking for Marshall and a first down. A strike from Fitzpatrick, 13 yards.
Good call, Bird. Here's Marshall working in the slot. And Fitzpatrick eyeballing him the entire way as he goes right around Logan Ryan for a huge 3rd down conversion for New York.
3 targets, 2 catches for Marshall.
Even.
4 straight 100-yard games for Brandon Marshall, the first Jet to do that since Hall of Famer Don Maynard.
180!
Out near midfield, Ivory's back in. And Ivory, good effort to cross into New England territory for a 3-yard pickup. Chung, the first man there for the Patriots. Well, it's Super Monday on CBS, beginning with TV's #1 comedy, The Big Bang Theory, followed by the premiere of Supergirl. Then stay tuned for the super geniuses of Scorpion. It's an all-new Super Monday tomorrow on CBS. Line of scrimmage is the 49 of the Patriots. Clock is rolling, 7:22 and counting left in the third quarter. 8th play of the drive. Fake it. Fitzpatrick on the roll, and the connection made. Jeremy Curley, who scored the Jets' lone touchdown earlier, driven down by Justin Coleman, the rookie out of Tennessee. That one covers 10 yards and a first down.
I think Coleman gets away with a late hit here, too. Curley was way out of bounds when he was tossed to the ground, but it was in the Patriot sideline, in their bench area. But look how far Curley's out of bounds when he gets roughed up.
Ryan Fitzpatrick back in the New England area, went to college at Harvard. Actually wanted to go to Arizona State. He grew up in Gilbert, Arizona. They were not interested in his services. Chris Ivory driving inside just short of the 35. That's a 3-yard pickup. JB and Bart Scott, NFL Today update.
Eric Berry with the big one.
Eric Berry had the ball is going to be tipped here by Antonio Brown. He's going to make a great diving catch, his first interception since being back. That led to a Sarkandrick West 1-yard touchdown run. Kansas City up 16-3.
Late in the third, back to Ian and Dan.
Ben Roethlisberger hoping to get back in there next week. It is the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals in Pittsburgh.
Bengals watching that game today.
2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick out of the pocket. Flag is down. Fitzpatrick. He took a shot. Fitzpatrick with 3 flags down on the play.
Yeah, we got offsetting penalties here. Holding in the secondary against the Patriots and holding against the Jets.
Officials come together to sort it out. Just under 6 minutes to play now in the third quarter.
There are 3 fouls on the play. 2 on the defense, 1 on the offense. Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 21. Holding. Defense number 21. Holding. Offense number 74. Penalties offset. Replay, 2nd down.
Well, that was 2 for the price of 1 for Malcolm Butler. It doesn't matter. The hold called against, was it Nick Mangold? I'm not sure.
Yes, it was. Nick Mangold right in the middle.
You're just not used to saying holding on Mangold.
Yeah, if he'd known that there was 2 on Butler, he might have gone for a second one himself.
6-time Pro Bowler and elite center. One of the leaders on this Jet squad. This offensive line has really come together nicely with Ferguson, Carpenter, Mangold, Colon, and Giacomini. Winters stepped in when Colon was down with an injury. 10th play of the drive on a 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick lofts it. Incomplete. Little high for Eric Decker. Malcolm Butler in coverage.
Yeah, the timing was just a little bit off. Decker barely had time to get his head around on this hook route. And Fitzpatrick lets it go. You can see how far it is to the receiver before Decker can get turned around and make an effort to make the catch.
We asked Butler what he learned from Darrelle Revis last year. He said, no doubt, the preparation, the film study. But the biggest moment came early in training camp. He was battling Edelman, and he won the rep. And Revis came over and told him, you have the skills to play in this league. Butler already believed it, but it validated things for him at that point. 3rd and 7. Fitzpatrick slings it downfield. He's got Decker. First down, New York. Ryan Fitzpatrick on the money.
You know, they talk about the lack of arm strength for Fitzpatrick. Watch this arm strength. Little sidearm shot right on the money between defenders. Great catch by Decker as he absorbs the big hit. But what a throw on a line by Fitzpatrick. Good for 24.
First down for the Jets. just short of the 13-yard line. We hit 5 minutes to play in the third. 16-10, New England. Ivory almost goes down initially. Instead, spins across the 10. Beasley was the one applying that pressure. It's a 4-yard pickup. Fitzpatrick on the day, 181 yards, a touchdown. Brady, 186, and a rushing touchdown.
But Ivory is giving the Jets just what they need. I don't think he's going to be effective running wide, but between the tackles where he's so effective, he's still getting yardage on first down.
13th play of the drive. 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 from the 9. Fitzpatrick tosses out. Ivory's got the angle. Touchdown, Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick. The toss to Ivory. Good hands from the running back, and he turns it up for the score, and the Jets with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, first receiving touchdown for Ivory as he makes a super catch, running away from the quarterback and reaching back to snag this one. That's a heck of a grab by a running back. He walks into the end zone.
Nobody accounted for Chris Ivory defensively. And Nick Folk is on for the extra point. Ivory may not be 100%, but the effort will always be there. 13 plays, 80 yards for the lead. Folk's got it. And it's 17-16. Jets. Chris Ivory getting involved through the air. The Jets go in front.
Well, Eric Decker is a pass receiver, but on this play, he's a pass blocker. Watch him come in and block Ninkovich as Ivory comes out of the backfield. Ninkovich is in coverage with Ivory. He has got no shot because Decker puts one right under his chin, and Ivory's got to walk in.
Chris Ivory, 9-yard touchdown reception. His first catch of the day, his first touchdown catch of the season. Jets 17, Patriots 16.
And that's how big the Jets defense was last time that Brady had the ball, holding the Patriots just that field goal. Now with the touchdown, they got the 1-point lead.
Amendola is deep, waiting for the kick from Nick Folk. Amendola, returnable, 6 yards deep in the end zone. He takes it out. Amendola across the 20. He's chopped down there by Riley. Dexter McDougal helping on special teams. Patriots have the football, but they're down 1 at home against the Jets.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. Solutions that matter. And by Pennzoil Synthetics. Make the switch to Pennzoil Pure Plus Synthetics today.
Gillette Stadium opened in 2002. So many memorable moments from this Patriot team inside this venue. 30 miles outside of Boston, 25 miles north of Providence. It's a 1st and 10 for New England at its own 22-yard line. Motion man is Amendola working out of the gun. Brady throws. He's got Rob Gronkowski along that sideline. Antonio Cromartie brings him down.
Brady came into the game as a 70% passer, but his receivers have let him down today. 9 drops on the afternoon, and 4 from Brandon LaFell, who only has 1 catch. Edelman will drop a crucial one here. It would have been a touchdown. Led to a field goal for the Patriots. But Brady, 18 of 34 today.
It's a 5-receiver set here for New England. Brady gets away from the rush, strips of the ball. It got knocked free by Richardson. But the Patriots come up with it.
Yeah, Brady was trying to load this one up to throw it deep. Look at this play by Richardson as he's hunting him from behind, gets the right hand in to knock the ball out. And Brady wisely sees the ball kicked over to him and makes the grab.
We asked him, does Brady trash talk with you? He said, once he actually gave me praise, said it was a nice play. I thought he was playing mind games with me. after he made a play in a previous matchup.
Definitely playing mind games.
2nd and 9. Quick hitter. LaFell. Brandon LaFell across the 40. NFL Today update. JB, Bart Scott.
Pittsburgh within striking distance.
Landry Jones is going to hit his favorite target, Martavis Bryant, for the 19-yard score as Pittsburgh narrows the lead, 16-10.
1:18 left in the third. Back to Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
Dangerous weapons on that Pittsburgh offense. Landry Jones trying to script a rally. Drop ball, LaFell on a 3rd and 3. Brandon LaFell having a tough time in his return to the lineup, his 5th drop of the day.
And this is a team that converts 50% of the time coming into today's game. And today struggling because of these drops, just 4 of 12.
Number 1 in the NFL in that category, entering action at 51% on 3rd downs. Not every 3rd down is equal, as we know. 3rd and shorts, 3rd and longs. Ryan Allen, the high punt, Curley from the 11. Stutter step, out of bounds. Once again, the Jets are deep in their own territory, a 47-yard punt. Matthew Slater's not 100%, but got down the field on special teams for Bill Belichick and company. Back on October 6th, a current, former Patriot players were among the more than 200 volunteers who helped build a new playground at Children's Services of Roxbury. The 2,400 square foot playground includes a triple racer slide, tic-tac-toe activity board, rock climber, and more. All part of the initiative around the NFL and from the Patriots in this community. Robert Kraft, chairman, CEO of the Pats, a native of Brookline, Massachusetts, so we know how much it means to him, the kind of impact that this franchise has had in this area. You walk into this stadium where they've built an incredible building combined with shopping, restaurants. It's a kingdom. It's a kingdom.
The kingdom of Kraft. Beautiful.
Jets take over on 1st down to Chris Ivory. Powers across the 20-yard line. That's a 3.5-yard gain. Akeem Hicks over there defensively for New England. So we have under 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. The Jets lead the Patriots 17-16. Ivory appears to be getting stronger as the game is going on.
And with these short runs, 3-4 yards are doing for the Jets, taking time off the clock, but they're also setting up the play action passing, the bootlegs for Fitzpatrick.
14 carries, 29 yards, a touchdown receiving for Ivory. Feed it to Ivory. Up the middle, he picks the right spot. And Ivory has enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, he's displaying some pretty good patience right now. He talked to us a little bit about his style of running last night, where he talked about how he wants to press the hole but also be patient enough. And when he's patient, he allows the offensive lineman to get on the linebackers, because the patience, the little stutter there, draws the linebackers up closer to the offensive lineman.
Having his best season as a pro, he gave credit also to running backs coach Marcel Shipp. He said he played the game, so he brings the perspective of having done it on the field. Fake it, Fitzpatrick. On time, Brandon Marshall, a big game. Marshall into New England territory and finally wrestled down.
Well, Fitzpatrick fakes the ball to Ivory, and now Marshall working against Ryan over the middle. Logan Ryan, that is. And this is where Marshall's so dangerous, and knowing how important it is to not turn the ball over as Ryan tries to poke it out with his left hand.
Ryan has been up and down in his first 2 years in the league, now in a starting role for New England with the injury to Terrell Brown. He's done for the season, placed on IR with an injured foot. End of 3. 17-16, the Jets in front of the Patriots. Back to Foxborough after this. This is the NFL on CBS. Week 7 continues later today on Fox. Then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. We start the 4th quarter. The Patriots for the first time this season, trailing in the fourth. First and 10 for the Jets in New England territory. Decker, the motion man. Fake it on a bootleg. Fitzpatrick doesn't see anything the legs downfield, so he scampers out of bounds. Flag is thrown on the far side of the field at the 34.
That's going to be holding against the Patriots. In the secondary.
Holding. Defense number 54. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
It's Dante Hightower. The versatile linebacker for Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia's defensive squad. 17-16, the Jets in front. We're just underway in the fourth. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, producer Mark Wolf, director Bob Fishman and company. Line of scrimmage is now the 35 of New England.
180!
Handoff. Ivory runs into a crowd, gets slammed backwards. Forward progress will give him 3. Collins and Selinga collaborating on the play defensively.
You know, Ivory, who had just 12 yards on 9 carries in the first half. In the second half, he's turned things around. 7 carries so far for 27 yards. But he does look a lot better, more forceful, running with more power between the tackles.
2nd and 7 now for the Jets. 87 rushing yards. They came in averaging 146 per game on the ground. Good for number 1 in the NFL. On 2nd down, connection holds up. Fitzpatrick incomplete with a flag. Decker against Butler.
Now Decker was trying to get back to this back shoulder throw. Butler upset because Decker really made the first contact on this play.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
It's going to turn out to be an 18-yard penalty on Malcolm Butler. But watch Decker try to push Butler away. That's a tough call. But the right arm of Butler is on Decker, preventing him from getting to that ball.
He arm locked him.
Yep.
Once he got in front. 4th penalty against New England, just 2 penalties against the Jets. First down. Sidearm toss to Ivory. 3 yards on the catch and run for Chris Ivory.
That was a really good job by Rob Ninkovich, getting out there in the face of Ivory and forcing Ivory to cut upfield to where all the pursuit from the Patriots was coming from.
Another long drive from the Jets, this one bridging the 3rd and 4th quarters. We've got a 1-point lead, a chance to add to it on a 2nd and 7 now. Deep in New England territory. Play clock down to 1. Fitzpatrick, timing route, and the timing is off. Eric Decker with Butler.
Now Decker was expecting on the fly there between Decker and Fitzpatrick.
Dime package for New England. 8th play of the drive for the Jets. They'll go empty. 5 receiver set. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick tosses. It's dropped. Brandon Marshall would have had a touchdown.
Now the Jets are not immune to dropping passes today either. This ball perfectly thrown by Fitzpatrick away from the defense to the hands of number 15. And out she goes.
The adjustment by Marshall. Fitzpatrick thought he had 6. It's a 30-yard attempt now for Nick Folk. from 30 yards away. He drills it. The Jets 20, the Patriots 16. We've got 12:50 remaining in the fourth. Aerial coverage of today's action provided by MetLife. Bird's eye view of Gillette Stadium. Packed house on a fall Sunday afternoon in New England. 20-16. And another close game between these two teams. Folk kicks it off. Amendola is deep. He'll take a knee. Patriots will have it at the 20-yard line. Well, first time that Todd Bowles is going against Bill Belichick as a full-time head coach. He did go against him as an interim head coach with the Miami Dolphins a number of years ago. And now Bowles is a part of this series. New England has won 8 of the last 9 played between the two teams. They've won 6 straight over the Jets at home.
Both teams very disciplined because of those coaches. Just 4 penalties against New England today, 2 against the Jets, and just 1 turnover, that early Fitzpatrick fumble.
This was supposed to be the year, at least from NFL observers, that the Patriots would be challenged in the AFC East. It's not necessarily the Jets that everybody thought would be the team challenging them. Brady over the middle. It's complete to Amendola.
Really tight coverage that time by Marcus Gilchrist, but Amendola able to hang on. Positive play on first down. Sets up a lot of possibilities on second and short for Tom Brady.
Buster Screen is in there. He left late in that second quarter with a shoulder injury.
Hey, Jules, get on.
He's in as the nickel. Second and 2. Gronkowski in motion. Brady to throw it. Steps up in the pocket. And he connects with Edelman for a first down. That covers 5 yards. Deion Bailey stepping in for the injured Calvin Pryor, who left with an ankle injury, was there defensively.
And you know that on the sidelines that the Patriots, Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady knew that this young man would be in there for Pryor.
3 catches for Edelman, 19 yards. Plenty of time left in this fourth quarter. 20-16 Jets. It's a pitch for Blunt. And Blunt breaks out of it initially, but the Jets were ready. David Harris, first man there, and then Buster Screen helping out in run support for a loss of 7 on the play. Let's check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Well, guys, during that last Jets possession, it was the first time I saw Tom Brady get up, and he had a lot of positive words for his offense and his offensive line, sensing the urgency of this drive. Obviously, the drops have let him down, but he's still got a lot of faith in this group, and it's the first time I actually saw him get up and really give his offense some positive momentum.
And again, that makeshift offensive line because of injuries. Remember, they lost Nate Solder for the season with a torn biceps. And that forced Cannon into action. They lose him. Vollmer shifts over to the left side. Second and 17. Brady. He skies it to the sideline, and a catch by Duzable. So the starting offensive line today, Vollmer, he's a veteran, normally plays on the right side. Klein has been shifting back and forth. Andrews is a rookie. Jackson is a rookie. Fleming is a second-year guy out of Stanford, a fourth-round pick. Started 39 games in college, but a minimum number of starts here in the pros. 3rd and 17 now for New England. Trying to convert on a long one. Deep ball. He's got his man. Downfield, it's Edelman against Deion Bailey to the tune of 27 yards.
Well, the pass rush just isn't there. It's a 4-man rush, but they get nowhere near Brady as he fires the strike right down the middle to Edelman. They've run 51 plays, have the Patriots, just 7 rushing plays.
Line of scrimmage is the 46 of New York on a 3rd and 17. The Patriots convert. Dobson in motion. Brady forced out of the pocket, flips it to Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski. He's got a first down across the 35.
Well, Gronkowski was in pass blocking that time. And Tom sees him. He tells him to get downfield. You can see him making a verbal communication there. Gronkowski got the message, then he got the ball.
And the patience of Brady. Maybe some other quarterbacks just throw that ball away and move on to second down.
He knows where all his receivers are, even when they're protecting him in the pocket.
We're down to 9:20 and counting left in the fourth. 20-16 Jets. Patriots are on the move at the New York 35. Edelman goes in motion. Brady looked towards him instead. It's Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski carrying Gilchrist. It's not fair.
Just the most physically dominant tight end the game has seen in a long time. Just running a seam route. Brady faked the pass to Edelman, and now it's a free ride for Marcus Gilchrist of at least 10 yards. It's like he's trying to bulldog him down. Like it's a rodeo.
They don't look like they're of the same species. First down from the 12. Brady underneath to Gronkowski. This time the Jets are ready for him, and a gang tackle to limit Gronkowski to 2. It'll be second down at the 10.
Yeah, this has been 3 straight completions now to Gronkowski.
We asked Gronkowski about Brady. He said his work routine is set day in and day out. Study, eat, treat your body. He's so consistent. You asked him, do you follow the same routine? He said, oh yeah, same exact routine.
Well, maybe not exactly. But he's learned a lot from Tom.
Second and 8. Brady in trouble. Gets out of it. Instead of absorbing the sack, he turns it into a 2-yard pickup.
And Sheldon Richardson's slow to get up. In fact, he can't get up. Holding his left arm, it appears.
Richardson, who just returned from the 4-game suspension, back in the mix. He played 49 of 63 snaps last week. Medical staff is checking on the left arm of Richardson. We'll step aside.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. And by AT&T. DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together.
Biggest test of the season for both of these teams early on. Sheldon Richardson leaving the game with a left arm issue. Stephen Bowen is in replacing him. This is a 3rd and 6 for New England. Shotgun Brady. Brady for the lead. Called in. Amendola, touchdown, Patriots. Tom Brady delivers.
Well, Amendola hasn't had any drop passes today. He makes a spectacular catch under some real pressure at the goal line. Brady fires a fastball, eyeballing him the whole way here. There's the fastball. There's the catch. Gilchrist will upend him. He'll land right on the goal line, breaking the plane. Brady on the drive found his rhythm. 7 of 8, 3 of them going to Gronk.
We asked Brady about Amendola. He said he's healthy. That's the biggest key. Last week, the Patriots showed that they could spread it around on offense, and it was important for the rest of the league to see that it wasn't just dominated by the likes of Dion Lewis and Rob Gronkowski. They are just taking a look at this. All scoring plays are reviewed. Looks like Amendola's in.
Yeah, when his left elbow hits, that's where the ball should be marked. And that's what they're looking at here. Where is the ball when that elbow hits? It appears to be breaking the plane.
Danny Amendola had 7 catches for 105 yards last week. I think last year when he was struggling, he started returning kicks and started getting some long runs on those kickoff returns, and it helped him out on offense. It spilled over the confidence into his offense. Touchdown is confirmed. Gostkowski knocks through the extra point, and New England's got a 23-20 advantage in the fourth.
After a catch like this, that might take some air out of the ball.
That's a spike. A low blow. 2 weeks, 2 top teams. Thursday night, the Dolphins take on the Patriots, CBS and NFL Network. And then in 2 weeks, the Browns meet the unbeaten Bengals only on NFL Network. Miami has won 2 of the last 3 games against New England. Brady undefeated as a starting quarterback on Thursdays.
Dolphins are still wearing the same uniforms. They just, I think, changed the bodies in those uniforms. What did they put up today?
41.
Woo.
New England 23, the Jets 20. Kickoff from Gostkowski. Owusu will return it. Getting to the outside. Owusu. Right around the 30-yard line is where he is brought down by Freeney on special teams.
Well, on the touchdown, here's Amendola and here is Edelman. Gilchrist has to choose between the two. He will take Edelman, and he's late coming back to Amendola at the goal line. Super catch under pressure, and the quarterback happy that Amendola could make that grab.
Amendola restructured that contract during the offseason. Wanted to stay with this team, and that's the reason why. The chemistry with Brady. Bootleg. Open man is Bohannon for the second time today. The fullback Tommy Bohannon on the receiving end of a Fitzpatrick pass. 13 yards on the play.
Well, it's a little bit of a bootleg. Here's Bohannon. He's going to sneak out here, and again, Fitzpatrick. Watch how he gives him a nice soft toss here. He's so wide open, you don't want to lead him too much. Just put it right on his body. It's a big first down to start this drive.
Decker goes in motion. We've got 6.5 to play in the fourth. Chris Ivory leaning forward across the 45 for a 4-yard pickup. Jamie Collins will get credit for the stop. Ryan Fitzpatrick is 17 of 31, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did lose a fumble on the game's opening possession, and he does resemble a 19th century blacksmith with that beard that he's got working. Every week it gets more impressive.
I like the stash. So much like Yosemite Sam, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
91, March 91.
Second and 6. Fitzpatrick throws to the outside. Incomplete. Trying to get it into Cumberland. Chung got turned around and still made the play for New England.
Yeah, really a dangerous pass thrown by Fitzpatrick. Hasn't thrown a pick all day, but Chung is all over Cumberland. If he could have located that ball early, it would have been a foot race as Chung gets away with a little jersey there. A little cloth. Raff's watching, isn't he?
He's watching. We're channeling Bill Raftery. 3rd and 6. Crowd is energized. Play clock is down to 2. Low snap. Fitzpatrick handles it. Dials up the deep ball. One-on-one. Incomplete. Devin Smith, the intended target, and Justin Coleman holds up in a battle of rookies.
Now back-to-back great coverage, man-to-man by these defensive backs of the Patriots. First Chung, and now Coleman. Again, it's Fitzpatrick trying to throw the ball the back shoulder instead of firing it out in front and instead of letting the speed of Smith run it down.
4th down, Weatherford on with 5:38 to go. Amendola moves forward and crosses the 30-yard line on the return. New England's got a 3-point lead. They've got the football. We've got 5:32 to play in Foxborough.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dish. The Dish 2-year price lock. Go to dish.com to learn more. And by Subway, the mouth-watering chicken and bacon ranch. Subway, eat fresh.
Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, the first and only look inside the U.S. air war against ISIS, plus an interview with Vice President Joe Biden, only on 60 Minutes tonight. 23-20, the Patriots in front with 5:32 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Patriots have won 19 straight home games played in October. Tom Brady, no mistakes. That's part of this New England offense. They're not going to hand it to you. Sheldon Richardson is back in there for the Jets defensively. The Patriots take over at the 32. Gronkowski right away. They feed it to him for a 4-yard gain on first down. Harris and Gilchrist combined to bring down the big tight end.
And that punt return by Amendola gives the Patriots a good place to start this drive. The Jets only netted 22 yards on that punt because of that good return.
Patriots now have it at the 36. We'll hit the 5-minute mark of the fourth.
Galaxy!
Hey.
Working from the gun. Brady, it's on time. Dobson seeing more time with the drops of LaFell.
And you just wonder about the Jets pass rush. I mean, Brady now has thrown 47 passes. That has got to wear out any defensive front.
Well, we talked about the ankle injury to Pryor.
And now Bailey has come off the field, replaced by Marcus Williams.
So Marcus Williams is in, replacing the man who replaced Pryor. Here's Brady. On throw. Amendola climbs the imaginary ladder for a first down. 14 yards on the hookup.
Well, he had 7 catches for 105 last week. Boy, that's 2 spectacular catches in a row for Amendola. Look at him climb that ladder and know he's going to be bounced on the ground in front of screen. Man, that's a good catch.
Brady got shoved down at the end of the play by Harris.
Yeah, but he's hot on 8 straight completions.
And using clock, we're down to 3:35 to play. Fake the run. Brady pump and throw downfield. Julian Edelman hit immediately by Cromartie. That's an 8-yard pickup for the Patriots.
Brady over 300 yards passing. And look at the touch on this one, as he just drops it over the linebacker underneath. Edelman sharp cut to the outside in front of Cromartie.
They're now at the 36-yard line. Tom Brady, the leading passer so far today in the NFL with 322 yards. James White getting down low. White has enough for a first down. The clock is at 2:42 and counting. And the Jets have 3 timeouts remaining.
They sacked Brady 3 times in the first half. 0 sacks here in the second half. They've knocked him down a couple of times, but Brady's been able to get the ball off.
Middle, Rita.
Brady from the gun. 2:15 left. Brady swings it. Ball got knocked free of Michael Williams. It was jarred loose by Pace. Clock stopped with 2:12 left. That was a break for the Jets. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play and score, every game, every highlight, right as they happen, all part of the big Monday, Super Monday on CBS. You can go to the CBS Sports app at cbssports.com/mobile.
Galaxy!
You guys go.
All 11 Jets on the line of scrimmage.
On a 2nd and 10, Brady outside, off the hands of LaFell. A rough afternoon for the veteran Brandon LaFell.
This ball looked like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that ball gets out of spiral, so that ball definitely was hit. But that's 6 drops now for LaFell, but you can give him a break on that one, as one of the Jets got a finger on it. But again, the clock stops, benefiting New York.
2:07 left to play. Brady on time to Amendola. It's a first down. Buster screen with a tackle. And Tom Brady milking the clock, coming up big when the Patriots need it most. New England trying to ice it against the Jets. They've got a 3-point lead with 2 minutes to play in Foxborough. Stay up to date with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every score, every game, every highlight as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now. cbssports.com/mobile. 2 minutes left. New England 23, the Jets 20, and the Patriots with a 1st and 10 at the New York 22.
And they want to keep pressing, trying to get in the end zone to put this one away. They do not want us to have to settle for a field goal.
Jets have all 3 timeouts remaining.
Hot off him. 319.
Brady has been exclusively in the gun. And he throws to Amendola underneath. 7 yards on the catch for Amendola.
The Jets have got to start calling timeouts, though.
Where's the timeout?
The clock just continues to roll.
It's down to 1:39 left.
You have to use your timeouts to force New England.
Patriots are in no rush. They'll use every last second of the play clock.
Hey,
And if they convert a first down, where are you?
Hey, Cody.
Heading home with a loss. 2nd and 3. Brady to Gronkowski. All the way for the touchdown.
Well, the Jets gambled. They brought the house on a blitz that time. Marcus Gilchrist, and nobody took Gronkowski. Brady saw it all the way. Watch the blitz coming from this side on Brady, and Gronkowski is as wide open as you could possibly be. Nobody around number 87.
It was as if New England invited the blitz because they knew they had an answer. And I'm not sure the Jets could have played that any worse. 1:13 remaining on the clock. Extra point from Gostkowski is good to give New England the 10-point lead. So the Jets still have all 3 timeouts, but they just don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, 11 catches today for Gronkowski. This one, he almost took his eyes off the ball. Did you see? He couldn't believe he was so wide open. Probably still can.
That's 108 yards and a touchdown for Gronkowski.
You know, for a tight end to average 18.5 yards a catch is phenomenal. But he can do it with speed and power and attitude.
How about the fact that New England can beat you in so many different ways? On a day where Tom Brady threw the football 54 times and handed it off 5 times.
And they rushed for 16 yards. And Brady, he does it all. He's a leading rusher as well.
15 yards on the ground for Brady and a rushing touchdown. 2 touchdowns through the air. 355 yards for Brady. Ten more years, Dan. He's playing 10 more years.
Why not?
But here's the thing.
I just hope I'm around 10 more years to watch it.
Last year he was asked how long he'll play. He said 10 years.
Yeah.
He was asked again this year. He said 10 years. Wouldn't it be 9 years? I mean, at some point, he's got to start doing the math.
He can adjust. Nobody adjusts better than Tom Brady.
Jets will have it at the 20-yard line, and they're down 10. Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower, NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Now that touchdown was a classic example of a hot receiver in more ways than one. A hot receiver means when the blitz comes, the receiver looks for the quick pass from the quarterback. And that's exactly what the Patriots got.
Jets are down 2 scores with a minute 13 to work with. Fitzpatrick, drop ball. Brandon Marshall, 3 catches, 55 yards for Marshall today.
If you can make any sense out of that, these 2 guys are blitzing. Gronkowski says, okay, go ahead. I'm on my way to the end zone. And what a great relationship these two have. Tom Brady and his offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels. They supremely appreciate each other's talents. McDaniels is putting up numbers as a coordinator as good as anybody's ever done.
Passes to Owusu across the 40-yard line. That one covers 21 yards. And a timeout used with 1 minute to play in the fourth. Jets will have 2 timeouts remaining, down by 10.
Timeout.
That's puzzling, the lack of the use of the timeouts on defense for Todd Bowles.
Well, very little hype, very little fanfare from the Jets side of things heading into this Patriots matchup. That was not the norm under Rex Ryan. There was a lot of bluster, bulletin board material. Jets have been more businesslike in their approach this year, and it's paid off. 4-1 entering action here. But they're taking on a machine. That's what the Patriots are right now on offense. Low snap, Fitzpatrick. Nice grab by Marshall. Trying to get to the sideline there and out of bounds. Logan Ryan in coverage for Tom Brady. Big numbers again. 355 yards and a pair of touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Injured Jet, it's Nick Mangold. Medical staff is out, checking on the perennial Pro Bowler. Jets will be charged a timeout because of the injury.
And it looks like he got his leg pinned under Chandler Jones as Jones was being blocked into him. See this so often.
The backup is Dakota Dozier, second year from Furman. They now have Mangold on his back. John Melody, the trainer, is the one underneath Mangold's helmet.
Well, Mangold's number 75, and it looks like 74 rather, right in the middle of everything. And it looked like his head hit one of the rushing, Jamie Collins, actually. And it's a good sign seeing him sit up now. Hopefully it's just a stinger.
He's been so durable throughout his NFL career. He and DeBrickashaw Ferguson drafted the same year. And he took a shot right there and went down in a heap. They help Mangold to his feet. And Mangold is taking his time walking towards the Jets sideline. .54 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. (30-20) Patriots.
And at some point, Fitzpatrick is going to have to go deep here. They can't afford to waste any time.
They're down to their final timeout.
Yep.
Timeout was taken away from them because of the Mangold injury.
54-91. Pocket.
Dakota Dozier is in. Snapping lefty to Fitzpatrick. Out of the pocket. On the move. Darts it upfield and hooks up with Owusu. Patrick Chung there defensively, and Owusu slow to get up. Subway postgame show is coming up. JB, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower. Scores and highlights all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Fitzpatrick over the middle for Zach Stacy. And that's good enough for a first down for the Jets. 23 seconds left.
Yeah, but I just don't understand the short throws. I mean, you got Brandon Marshall, you got Eric Decker, get two guys that can get up in the air. It's time to throw the Hail Mary on first down and just keep throwing it. Because you have no timeouts left now because of their lack of using them before, giving the Patriots the easy touchdown to Gronkowski. And now they're going to bring out the field goal team, get Nick Folk out there to get 3 of these points back.
So that was the philosophy, try to get into field goal range, accept the fact that you're going to have to get a field goal at some point and a touchdown. Get the field goal and then
recover an onside kick.
This is a 50-yarder, so certainly no gimme here for Folk. A long of 53 this season, career long of 56 back in 2010. Purdom will snap it. Weatherford is the holder. Weatherford had worked in his previous stint with the Jets with Purdom and Folk, so this was not completely unfamiliar territory when he was signed yesterday. He was with the Jets in 2009 and 2010. 50-yard attempt, trying to make this a one-possession game. Well, we know what Jamie Collins is capable of.
False start.
That's not going to help.
Yeah, it's going to put you back 5.
And now Folk looking to the sideline to see if they want him to try a 55-yarder, if indeed it's called a false start.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The Jets reacting to the shift of the Patriots, and James Carpenter just flinched. That drew the flag.
Before the game, Folk hit a 53-yarder. He came up short on a 58-yard attempt. This one is from 55 yards away.
There's a slight breeze behind him too, though.
Well, the Jets have a puncher's chance here. They need Folk to convert. 23 seconds left. And 55 yards away, Nick Folk. He nails it. It's a 7-point game with 18 seconds left. So it'll come down to an onside kick to see if the Jets have some life left in them.
Yeah, perfect snap and hold, and how about that kick? High and far for Nick Folk.
He and Weatherford on the same page. And now the Jets will line it up for an onside attempt. Looking for a miraculous finish here in New England. 18 seconds to play.
We were watching the Patriots walkthrough yesterday, and they spent a lot of time in this type of situation. can see some of the personnel they have out on the field. Gronkowski back at the 40-yard line. Ninkovich and Hightower in front of him. But if the ball comes in that direction, both Hightower and Ninkovich will let it go all the way to Gronkowski. They're going to try the other side of the field. Both kickers.
Timeout called by the Patriots.
You see both Weatherford and Folk are standing there with the potential to kick this ball. And Belichick and the Patriots saw the alignment come out and alert their special teams unit to that possibility. You think Weatherford practiced any onside kicks on his radio show?
I don't believe so, unless that was in the third segment of the second hour.
Who was working the board?
I can get that information for you. Weatherford hosting a show in New York yesterday and got the call during a break from GM Mike McCagnon that they needed his services. Hustled over to the Jets facility and got on the charter. So Weatherford and Folk are both out there. Which angle will it come from? Weatherford is number 3. Folk is number 2. It will be Folk. Bobbled. It's free. And the Jets have it. Brandon Marshall on the recovery for New York. 15 seconds left. And the Jets down by 7.
A great kick, too, here by Folk as he puts this one skidding along the ground. Tough first hop there for Jamie Collins. The ball gets punched down the field, and there's Marshall. No other Patriot around. Edelman late getting over there. So is Duron Harmon. And an easy recovery for Brandon Marshall.
They have to go 48 yards.
Now you think about the lack of use of timeouts when the Jets were on defense and the Patriots scored that easy touchdown.
15 seconds left. Jets have no timeouts. They're down by 7. Shotgun. Fitzpatrick lines it up, middle of the field. Decker with the catch. 8 seconds left. 7 seconds left. Jets trying to get lined up here. Down to 4 seconds left. They spike it with 1 second left.
Yeah, they did.
And a flag is thrown.
It's illegal procedure against the Jets, so this will move it back 5 yards.
Number 15 was not set. False start. Offense number 15. Results in a 10-second runoff.
Yeah, that's it.
Game is over.
Jets went into frantic mode. And they could not rally. The AFC still goes through Foxborough. The Patriots knock off the Jets 30-23. New England remains undefeated, 6-0 on the season. The Jets fall to 4-2. Marshall on the recovery to keep the Jets alive, and then Marshall trying to jump back. Jets couldn't spike it cleanly. Would have had one more chance left, but the 10-second runoff at the end means this one is over. New England now 2-0 in the division. Jets suffered their first loss within the AFC East. Buffalo's 3-4, and the Miami Dolphins trying to make it interesting in the division. Final score from Gillette Stadium. The Patriots 30, the Jets 23. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our crew, I'm Ian Eagle from Foxborough. Coming up next, Subway postgame show. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.